Welcome to the show. You're watching Be the Boss of Your Money. This show is about you and your money. It's about helping you to take control of your money, about giving you the tools you need, giving you a thought process, a strategy. And if I can get you to think more in terms of your own situation in your own way, based on the tools that I share here, I am so happy to hear that. I'd love to hear that. And if you are getting something out of this show, feel free to reach out to me. You know where to find me. Our website is clientfirststrategy.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm easy to find. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, share. And if you're watching this on Facebook and LinkedIn, give it a like, share with your friends. It helps the cause. It's all about good stuff. We only talk about educational material here, okay? That's what this is about. So let's put some things in perspective. NVIDIA goes up a lot today. Again, is there an end to how much it could go up? Are investors getting a little greedy? Has this become a feeding frenzy for NVIDIA stock? We'll talk about that in a moment. And then we're going to take a look at a way for some of you to reduce taxes in retirement with a qualified charitable distribution. So we're going to check out my favorite website, the IRS website, and we'll take a look at that. And you're going to learn, and it's going to be really, really good. So let's just do a quick roll of the intro, and then we're going to have a good show. So stick around. Ask me questions in the comments. I love hearing from you. It's the best part about doing the show. Here we go. I'm Mitch Goldberg. Thank you for joining me. You can check me out at clientfirststrategy.com if you want to reach out to me. That is where you will find my contact information. Give a call, send an email, connect with me on social. We'll get it together. We'll build a relationship. You don't have to do something now. You don't have to become my client now or ever. But let's begin a relationship by connecting and talking. And when you are ready, when you're ready, I'll be here for you. Okay. How's that sound? Deal? Good. Thanks. All right. NVIDIA keeps going up. Let me pop myself up in the corner. This is the NASDAQ, and I'm talking about NVIDIA going up, but this is the NASDAQ today, down a little, down almost 0.5%. Stock is trading right by its 52-week high. Now, just to be clear, okay, we are in a new bull market for all three major averages, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. You cannot invest directly into an index, but you could invest into a security that tracks or mimics an index. Now, if we're in a bull market, then I don't expect the new highs to stop. Just because we're at an all-time high, a fresh new all-time high after an extended period, in particular, I'm talking about the NASDAQ, doesn't mean the NASDAQ has to go down. It doesn't mean, a new all-time high is a ceiling. Generally, when indexes or stocks hit new highs, they don't just do it once. They do it again and again and again. So where the NASDAQ stops is hard to say. What could get in its way is hard to say. And I just want to say to all the bubble callers, there is a real bull market, a real supply side economics in bubble callers today. It's almost become fashionable to say a stock or an index or some asset isn't a bubble. I don't know when everybody became so smart, but calling an actual bubble is impossible. Now, don't get me wrong. If you come out every day and say it's a bubble, the stock market is a bubble, Bitcoin's a bubble, NVIDIA is a bubble. If you come out every day and say something's a bubble, Eventually, you'll be right. But that's the least helpful thing in the world. Remember, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So people calling a bubble and this and a bubble and that. And then when the thing that they called a bubble and goes down a little bit, they go, aha, you see? And often what happens is what was they thought would be in a bubble goes right back up and continues to go higher. Oh, poor people calling bubbles. Bubbles don't happen when you expect, and they don't happen for the same old reasons that they've happened in the past. But bubbles do develop, they do form, they do pop. We've seen a couple of doozies, like the tech wreck of the year 2000, when we were really in a bubble. Stocks were trading on 80 times future earnings, like Cisco. Companies who were pulling shenanigans, like WorldCom and Lucent, were finally discovered in a down market. Companies turned out missed the mark and became obsolete literally overnight. I'm talking about Lucent, Sun Microsystems, and EMC. They became obsolete overnight. Bubbles happen for many reasons. We had a bubble in subprime lending, which affected the entire economy in 2007, 2008, and 2009. A housing bubble. And we could give all the reasons why. But until it finally happened, it was a long time. But there will be somebody, that last person who calls a bubble right before it actually happens. Because every day people calling bubbles, there will eventually be somebody who's right, who top ticks the market and says, I was right. I called the bubble. I was the last person to say it. Therefore, I get all the credit. And that person will be paraded on TV, all over the media as the bubble caller. And from henceforth, every time the market will go up, they will ask the opinion of the last person who called the last bubble, knowing that that person will never, ever be able to call the next bubble again in their lifetime. Because that's how bubbles work. Calling a bubble, it's hit or miss. It's throwing darts. It's playing the odds that are against you. It's luck. That's what it is. We buy good companies. That's a story for another day. But what I want to take a look at is one stock that doesn't seem to quit. And it does appear to me like it's a feeding frenzy. And that stock, my friends, is NVIDIA. NVIDIA seems to go up every day, and it doesn't just go up a little. It crushes its previous all-time high. What was it, about a week ago? The stock was down to 670 just ahead of earnings, taking some profits for people who have huge gains in the stock, and it went to 700. Then it touched 800, backed off, and now it's 850 and change. So it's actually closer to 900 than it is to 800. Well, that makes sense when it went out at $852 on the day, even though the NASDAQ was off a little bit. Now, is this just a matter of one stock doing all the heavy lifting? Google not doing so great? Tesla stock has just completely fallen apart. It's hard to find any redeeming qualities about Tesla. It's hard to find any reason to buy the stock. And Google seems to be going down that path all of a sudden as well. Apple hasn't sold off heavily, but investors are really groping for reasons to keep buying the stock. iPhone sales maybe will go back up. Maybe services will continue to do well. Remember, folks, every market has its leaders, and new bull markets typically come up with new leaders. And certainly in this new bull market, NVIDIA is the leader. Is it a bubble? Tough to say. If you have huge gains in it, should you be taking some gains on the table? Or I'm saying, should you be taking some gains off the table? That's a matter of personal finance. How big of a portion is NVIDIA now in your overall portfolio? Do you have a rule that says a stock could be no more than 10% of your portfolio, or 5% of your portfolio, or 5% of your allocation towards stocks? You need a rule, and you should have it. Because if you don't, you're just saying, I'm going to keep holding it until it goes up and up, and then when I'm going to sell it before it goes down. You're driving with a blindfold on, my friend. And we need a rule. We need discipline. Discipline and rules, they go hand in hand. So something to talk about, something to consider. I'm not going to tell you what to do on a live stream, but if you want some more personalized opinions on this, you're welcome to reach out to me. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Let's talk about qualified charitable distributions. Okay, I see I froze up in the corner there. All right, so I froze up there too. So hopefully you didn't miss anything, but that's going to be beat because I feel like I just was on such a good roll, such a good tear. Hey, the pause. Adam Posner. See, I said that right. We call him the pause. He's very cool. He's a very cool dude. But we pronounce his last name Posner. Hey, Adam, nice to see you. It's good to have a fellow influencer here, and we should catch up one of these days. It's been too long. We had a great live stream interview with you a long time ago. We should do that again. So thank you very much, by the way, for showing up today. Let's talk about, okay, I see I freeze up every time I do that, so I can't show you the other screen at the moment. I don't know why that is. Qualified charitable distribution. What this means is you could give up to $100,000 out of your IRA to a charity when you're old enough to take required minimum distributions. You can send that money. It could be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 15, 50,000, up to $100,000. You could take that money and you could send it directly to a charity. Don't take possession of the money. Don't deposit it and then you send a check to the charity. It has to go directly to the charity. So in a way, it almost becomes like a donor advised fund. But you could just simply name the charity you want to send your money directly to. It's pretty cool to work like that. And you just have to file the correct form. Your accountant will know about this. But I do have clients who have to take RMDs and say, I don't even know I have to do this. I don't even need the money. I don't want to take the money out. So I say, let's give the money to charity. Which charity would like to use? Are they a recognized charity? They'd be happy to have the money. And the good thing for you is you don't have to pay the income tax on that distribution. So if you're going to take out $20,000, for example, as an IRA distribution, that's taxable. So maybe you'd have to pay $4,000 or $5,000 in taxes and another $1,000 in state taxes. So let's say total $5,000 to get $15,000 in your pocket of money that you said you don't even need. Send it all to a charity directly. They get the money, and you don't have to pay the $5,000 in taxes in this example. QCD, qualified charitable, charified. Did I just say? I made up a new word. Charitable qualified distribution. Hey guys, I do these live streams late in the day. I'm punchy by now. Now let's see. Does this work? No. Okay. So that's on the IRS website. So just search qualified charitable distribution IRS and you'll find the website. You can read it for yourself or talk to your accountant. But this is one of the things that we talk to our clients, Bobby and I. We talk to our clients about this. Taxes, how to potentially reduce taxes in retirement, because what you don't know is when you retire, taxes become a huge expense for you. They're huge before you retire, but you're going to really feel it much more after you retire when you no longer have an income coming in. It's one thing to have an income coming in from your work, from gainful employment, and a portion of that goes to taxes. It's another thing when you're taking money out of your investments to live on. That's your money, and now you're sending more money to the government for taxes, and you wind up having less. So we want to do everything we can to help you, to support you, and this is why you should have a conversation with us. Shameless plug, right? Hey, give us a call, clientfirststrategy.com. I want to thank you for watching today. It always means a lot to me. Oh, I wanted to talk about this, but we're not going to be able to see it because I can't share the screen now. But I have went through a couple of articles. They've all been more or less the same about presidents and the stock market. And I always hear people say, if so-and-so becomes president, forget it, the stock market's going to tank. I've heard this ahead of elections when a Republican won and when a Democrat won. I've heard them both. People try to advance a very negative, fear-filled vision to try to get you to vote their way. They're using an emotion, fear, to convince you of something, to get you to vote for a certain candidate. And I just want you to know our viewers are smart. We don't fall for that because we know that since Eisenhower, every president, with the exception of two, have enjoyed a positive return in the stock market during their presidency. The two that didn't, most people say the market was down during the Carter years. No, the market was up. The S&P 500 was up almost 30% during the Carter administration. The only two administrations, presidential administrations, that saw a negative stock market return were Bush 2 and Nixon Ford. All right, those are the only two. Everyone else saw a positive development. Trump's was positive, Obama, Clinton, Bush 1. Who else? Eisenhower, Kennedy/Johnson. So don't make your decision based on those things. I mean, I can give you reasons why Bush, President George H. Bush, okay, the second Bush, I could tell you why. I could give you the reasons why his stock market was down. He came into it right when the tech bubble was bursting and 9/11. And by the time the stock market could recover, which it did, what happened was the Great Recession, the housing market bubble, and the whole economy almost imploded at the end of his term. So he was doomed. There was just nothing any president could have done to made that not happen. However, Obama came in at a great time. He came in right after the 2009 bottom. The stock market bottomed in 2009. That is right when Obama came in January 20th of 2009, Inauguration Day. So he caught the bottom as luck would have it. And his first year of gains in his first year is a record. That was about 85% gain in the stock market. And his second term was followed by 53%. Clinton was up almost 80% first year, second year up 73%. Reagan had a 30% and a 67% gain. Bush Sr., the first President Bush, 51%. Trump had almost 70% gain. Eisenhower had a 70% gain, followed by a 34% gain. But by and large, most presidents want to see a strong economy and they want to see a strong stock market. So they try to enact policies to make both of those happen. But keep in mind, what has coincided with these gains in the stock market has been a ballooning budget deficit. So you could attribute a lot of this to massive government spending. And if you didn't have so much government spending, you have to wonder, would the stock market have been up as much as it's been? Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely be back tomorrow. Have a great day.